Hello and welcome to the Wheel Supply. This is Virgil. Today I want to talk with you guys about returns and how you can actually process returns much smarter. So, majority of the companies are actually losing a lot of money and they have a really hard time processing returns, mostly because all the returns are going back to one centralized location. So let me just give you this example. Let's say you have a web store and you're selling, in US, and you have multiple warehouses, one on the East Coast, one on the West Coast. And let's say your customer is on the East Coast in New York City, and they are trying to return a product. Now, where do you return that product? On the East Coast warehouse or on the West Coast warehouse? Well, most of the retailers are going to have one centralized location to return all products, and this is mostly happening because they do not have a system in place to actually route each product to the right location. So if you think about it, we have a lot of challenges these days. Actually, so as I said, if you have multiple warehouses for returns, it takes a lot of time and money to process these returns. And if you work with drop shippers or different vendors, so for example, let's say you're selling lifestyle products from clothing all the way to furniture. The clothing might come from one company, right? From one vendor, from Nike or whoever it might be, and whoever it's going to ship that product for you as a drop shipper. But the furniture might come from a completely different company. So if the customer purchases both products, where do you actually return those? Are you going to return them to one location, another? What are you going to do? And the same thing can happen if your company's return locations are not equipped to process these products. So for example, maybe a customer you're selling bathtubs, right? And you have a big bathtub, hundreds of pounds, very heavy product. But you're also selling accessories like the faucet, or different fittings, whatever it might be. If you return that entire bathtub to the warehouse that is not equipped to receive that heavy product, that is not equipped to leave that heavy product, how are they even going to process that return? It's very, very challenging. And many, many retailers are actually facing this problem every day. As I said, one of the biggest challenges, like inefficiencies, like you have multiple warehouses throughout the country, but you're always sending back all the products to the main location. It can be a nightmare, honestly. It can be a nightmare. And the customers these days are demanding transparency. So a few weeks ago, I watched, there was like this 60-minute video on YouTube in which a company actually researched how is Amazon, handling returns, where they are sending back each product and if they are disposing those products or repairing those products to make sure that, they are saving, carbon footprint, like they have a very reduced carbon footprint, they process returns in a sustainable fashion. Products that can be recycled are actually recycled and not dumped into the landfill. And for example, if you're sending specific products such as like a mattress, for example, nobody's going to sleep in your return mattress, right? Usually those products are sent, to donation centers where they are cleaned, and basically donated to a person in need. So if you think about this entire situation, returns are not just challenging processing them, but the entire logistics behind. And if you have, highly discounted products, final sale, kind of things, you want to return those products, to maybe an outlet or like a liquidation store, right? Instead of back to your warehouse and from that warehouse to, one of your locations. So a lot of challenges, but in the same time, you have a lot of opportunities. And when we look at opportunities, we can optimize, the logistics in returning a product, but what we need is a solution that can actually calculate where each product should be returned. So as we discussed, heavy products, bulky products to the right warehouse that can actually process that, like regular clothing, for example, return to the closest warehouse, so you're actually saving some money there as well. Or, if the product needs to be recycled, directly to a recycling facility or donation center. So customers are following this, and the faster you can get back the product, the faster you can put it back on your shelf, actually. Faster you can return that product, the faster the customer is going to get their refund, and it will ultimately result in happier customers. So if you have the right system in place, you actually have the opportunity to create a win-win situation, faster for the customer, but faster for yourself as well. Everybody gets their money faster, win-win situation, right? So what we're talking about is here, it's actually what we call intelligent disposition. And we basically launched this new feature. We're very happy for it. And I would like to give you a few examples of how this can be used. So as we said, if you're working with various vendors or drop shippers, you already know returns are a nightmare. If you want to return each product to the original warehouse that was sourcing the product, so maybe the furniture, warehouse A, clothing, warehouse B, right? You don't want to mismatch the two warehouses. Also, opportunities to save money on the labels, right? By returning each product to the closest warehouse, or if the product can be recycled, repaired, to closest recycling repair center. Products that can be donated, send them to a donation center, and you can actually make the customer feel great about their return as well. And if you have a product that it's going to be an outlet or clearance product, just simply send it directly to your outlet store. There's no need to send it to your warehouse and from there to your outlet. Just get it as soon as possible to your clearance location and get that product back on the shelf. So now let me show you how this actually works. Here we have an order with 3 products, but these products are actually sourced from completely different location, right? So, and as soon as we return these products, we are going to see that if we selected return to vendor, we have a logic in the backend which allows us to, so our intelligent disposition actually allows us to create logics and rules, around products and product attributes or various conditions to determine what is going to happen with that product. So in this situation, we said all the products should go back to the original warehouse, right? First 2 products were actually purchased from warehouse 1, product number 3, warehouse number 2. And now when we are going to process this return, what we are expecting is to create 2 return labels and the 2 products to be grouped together, going back to warehouse 1, and the third product to warehouse 2. And we hit continue. Now we can see the instructions. We are going to receive, a prepaid downloadable return label. So we have the products, we see the cost, the total, and now when we're finalizing the return, what we're actually doing now, we're actually calculating all the logics that you set up, and we are generating return labels based on the logics. So we are going to determine which product goes into which warehouse and generate a return label for each. So if we scroll further down, we can see the first 2 products are part of the first RMA, and here we have ta-da! the first return label. And if we scroll a little bit further down, we have the second RMA and the return label for this one. It's very easy for the customer to see which product goes with which return label and in which box, and it's great for you, it's great for the customer. And as long as we are communicating that with the customer, they are going to be more than happy to return to the right location. So let's look a little bit further what we talked about. So returns can be very complex, but it can be solved with a solution that allows you to do intelligent dispositions that is based on rules and logics, and automatically calculated. You want to send back the product to the right destination, and not just to the right destination, but to the final destination. By doing so, you can save a lot of time and a lot of money, and ultimately you are going to get your products back on the shelf faster. The customer is going to receive their refund faster, and they're going to be much happier with your services. And as we said, the customers demand transparency. They want to see what you as a company is going to do with their products that they just returned. And I highly recommend actually to watch that short video. I'm going to put this in the comment section. That actually shows, how this group of people are actually chasing down with trackers, Amazon products to understand how the products are returned. And you're going to see like the reaction when they find out that products that they thought are going to be resold are actually sent to landfill. It's insane. It's insane actually what happens. So next, don't forget, this is already live. So if you have any questions, just reach out to us and we can help you set everything up. It's very easy. One of our customer success manager is going to help you configure everything and get started. If you have any questions, reach out to us. Take care. Bye.